Thank you for viewing this video. This is an informational presentation on the Electric Vehicle Charging Assistance Program, Round 2 funding. This funding opportunity is dedicated towards providing electric vehicle supply equipment in underserved areas across the Commonwealth. The primary objective of this initiative is to work at the community level to address gaps in charging infrastructure, to understand the unique issues being faced in EVSC deployment in the Commonwealth, while also delivering measurable community impacts that will help foster the adoption of electric vehicles. This round of funding makes $510,000 available for projects that will carry through December 2027. This round of funding will close June 30th, 2026. Eligible entities that can apply are for-profit EV charging vendors, private businesses that will be deploying and installing EV charging equipment in underserved communities across the Commonwealth, as well as government industry partnerships. For example, a municipality that partner with a certified EV charging vendor, private business that will install the charging, and eligible activities that this funding opportunity will deploy and administer funding to is the purchase and installation of electric vehicle supply equipment. So purchase and installation of EV charging. And the three big objectives for this round are expanding EV charging access, watering the charging deserts of the Commonwealth. We will prioritize projects that will deploy in underserved communities, such as historically economically disadvantaged communities, environmental justice communities, or sites designated as brownfields. And projects that deploy in these sites will be ranked higher in this scoring process. And additionally, beyond deploying EVSC, we will also require proposals and applicants to document their solutions for unique local issues in EVSC deployment. And this will look like a year after the deployment of equipment, the documentation of solutions to challenges faced. So this can look like local permitting challenges, utility interconnection, site host coordination, how will site hosts overcome these challenges? And the final objective is reporting on project impacts. So reporting on charging utilization and community and economic impact of the project area. And moving on. So the main requirements for the Electric Vehicle Charging Assistance Program fall into 4 buckets. The federal compliance section, this is federal funding. So any sort of project needs to comply with Build America, Buy America standards. All electric vehicle charging infrastructure must be BABA compliant. That is 100% steel and iron derived from the United States, as well as 55% of manufactured components being made in the United States. Beyond Build America, Buy America standards, there's also Davis-Bacon prevailing wages. This is labor used in the installation of the equipment needs to be the prevailing wages for that local area. Finally, the National Environmental Protection Act environmental review. If the charging station is going to be deployed in a parking lot, we are able to get waivers if it's on a pre-disturbed area. If not, we will need to go through a NEPA environmental review. Beyond federal requirements, we also have state and pre-award requirements. Any proposals, any applications awarded will need to go through a financial vetting process, as well as register in both sam.gov and eva.virginia.gov. This will ensure that you'll be able to get paid and can be financially vetted. There's also a grid capacity analysis that will require from sites to ensure that the utility interconnection is planned out and coordination is ensured with the utility, as well as long-term maintenance plans for the project site. Going on off of that, we'll also require ongoing reporting. This will look like quarterly reports submitted to Virginia Energy. We have templates and language we'd like you to follow, but in the application, please outline your capacity to comply with those reporting requirements, as well as monthly invoices due by the 15th. There's going to be post-construction case study metrics and final closeout reporting, as well as all sites will be registered with or listed on PlugShare. And finally, any sort of contracting and payments, all subcontractors applicants may engage with need to provide documentation that a bidding process was engaged for any subcontractors or sub-recipients. And here's a general scoring criteria. There are 4 buckets that we will rank applications by: both applicant information, a summary of the organization, your organizational capacity to administer this funding, as well as experience handling federal awards in the past, a project summary, both the project background, the who, what, where, when, but also project impacts. What impacts will this project deliver to communities? General project details, as well as financial details, a budget breakdown, and financial justification form will need to be completed as a part of the application process. And how to apply. So we would encourage you to review the program guidelines and completion, and then you will go into the Virginia Energy Grant portal, create an application there, and submit through our portal. So we will not be accepting via email. It'll all be through our Virginia Energy portal. And please submit by the deadline, June 30th, 2026. And now we're going to walk through how to access the Virginia Energy Grant portal and submit an application.
Hi there, my name is Gregory Brennan. I work with Virginia Clean Cities. I work as a partner with Virginia Energy on this program, and I'm going to do my best to walk you through how to get to the grants portal and apply. So we will first start on the Virginia Energy website, and you come up here to the top, which says Grants and Programs. You click there. You scroll down to where it says Virginia Energy Grant Portal. Click there. As you can see, I've already created a login and password, but you will not have one of those pre-saved. So you'll need to go to the user registration form. And here you will fill out all of your information that you need just to create a profile. So mine auto-filled, yours likely will do the same. Make sure you use a valid email address, a valid address. Make sure you include your affiliation, who you work for, your title, so on and so forth. And make sure you click that you are not a robot in the CAPTCHA form. It's a password that you will remember that is specifically unique to this program. So once you've done that, you'll click submit and you'll come back to this page where, again, this will not be filled in, but mine is because I've already created one, and you will log in. So I'm logging in, and this is what the homepage will look like. You'll have My Grants, Opportunities and Grants, and User Guide. I like to go to the left side here on this little panel and click Grant Opportunities. And for me, I have a February 2026 test grant. That is what I have been able to apply for. This is a test to show you all how it works. So we'll get right into it. So I'm clicking on this. It opens this little screen here and says, as you can see, it says this is a test. It will for you say EVCAP, and you will click apply. Once you click apply, you will have all these different drop-down boxes here on the bottom, and I would encourage you to read all the information with this, and then along with helps and questions, applicant info, master guidance, federal terms and conditions, and state terms and conditions. As Ed was saying, those will all be up on the website, but I think it's important to make sure you read those thoroughly when you are applying. So starting off, applicant info. It's some of the same information you already filled out. You're able to list another contact person. And then here on the bottom, it asks for your organizational summary. So just a brief description. And this is where you are able to upload a Word document or a PDF file to explain that. And make sure you scroll down a little farther to answer these questions as well. The personal conflict and organizational conflict that you may or may not have with Virginia Energy. Scrolling back up very quickly. Project summary, same thing. You are going to write out your own project summary and submit it here. Project details. The things you have to fill up here out top are, start and end date as as Ed was saying, this project is set to go till the end of December 2027, so the end of 2027. But then it asks for a couple different questions. These can be relatively brief, and only if they are applicable. The only things that are asterisked here is the immediate outcomes and long-term outcomes, which again can be fairly brief sentences, as you are meant to attach a project detail form or Word document that will have more information in it. Scrolling back up again, financial details, same thing, writing all of that out. Make sure you're filling out the asterisk portions. Supporting documents. These could be an array of things, partnership documents, letters of support. There could be an array of things. And if you have questions about what these could be, or any questions about the previous things, there's a help and questions tab on the bottom. You'll see it here, and you will also see it on the top left of this. And if you click that, it says help and questions. You can write a comment and it will go directly to Ed or Emma, who is a part of the EVCAP program. So before we finish and all that information, and before we're able to submit, you must read through all this and have click the final checkbox here. And I can't do that right now because I haven't filled out everything. But once you are done with everything and all the information and documents are uploaded, you should be able to go here and click submit, and then you will be done and you will have submitted your EVCAP application.